I know. Hey, sun came out. See the meeting? Sun comes out, stops raining.
All right, 5 o'clock. I'd like to welcome everybody to the July South Range Board of Education meeting. Go ahead and call this meeting to order at 5. Mr. Nero, if you can call the roll.
Tyler Bates.
Here.
Jack Dawson.
Here.
Elizabeth Johnson.
Here.
Terry Loud.
Here.
Brian Badler.
Here. First, I'd like to observe a moment of silence followed by the pledge. So if you would, just bear with us for a minute. And let's stand for pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first item is the agenda approval. Are there any changes or concerns anybody have? If there's none, we just need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll move.
Second. Elizabeth moves. Dr. Dawson seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is approved. Now I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Spolnick for the recognition.
Best part of the meeting is when we can celebrate our Raiders, and today, from the Speech and Debate High School, we would like to honor Quincy Bailey, Speech and Debate, for being top 14 in the nation. We're very excited about that. And Coach, if you want to come on up and say a few words.
Sure. Thank you for having us. We're really happy to be here. Quincy is a sophomore on our team. This is her second time at nationals, but technically it's her third. She was 5th in the nation as an 8th grader. So now she is 14th. Quincy, come on up here. She's 14th in the nation. She was also 3rd in the state. So we are very much expecting Quincy to have a great junior and senior year moving on. She was able to go to Iowa with 9 other students from our team. We have 17 total high schoolers. Brooke is also here. Nicole Rothbauer, one of our assistant coaches, is here as well. Those 10 kids are of a team of 17. We went to Iowa for a week. It's a very rare thing to get a kid from Ohio even to the top 30. So the fact that Quincy made it to the top 14, it was an exciting week for us, being able to watch her compete and see what she was doing. She had the support of the entire Youngstown district behind her, which was awesome to watch other kids go to her rounds, watch her compete. And excitingly, we're going back to Iowa next year because Quincy has auto-qualified to next year's national tournament, which is an amazing thing. The Youngstown district, we looked it up, they haven't had one in 24 years. So she is the first one, and we will be heading back to Iowa, all of us, next year. So thank you for having her here. You want to say anything?
I feel bad. As you were preparing, I'm like texting Coach. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? She's like, oh, she hasn't gone up yet. I'm like, it was like literally every day I was trying to find out information. So Mom, Dad, awesome job. And at this time, if you would like a picture with the board, we'll get the board around. Quincy, if you just want to go to the middle, and I will. And then photo op time.
Okay.
One, two, three. Mom, Dad, you want? Yeah, you guys want a picture? I can use your phone. Get out of your way. Good job, Dad. Been there, done that. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Let me step back and get this logo. 1, 2, 3. Nice picture.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Quincy, like we said, congrats. We are looking forward to great things. that was our only celebration for tonight, and thank you again for coming midsummer. Now, we do have another celebration in August, another speech and debate student will celebrate, for the August meeting as well. So parents, guests, if you would like to stay for the rest of the meeting, feel free. It's July, so bye-bye. All right,
Thank you so much.
for
Thank
coming.
you.
Okay, we will move on to item 6, public participation for agenda items. Anybody like to say anything? All right, so now I'll take us to the superintendent communications.
Yeah, thank you so much. I've never realized how busy it is June, July, especially for the fiscal aspect of the job. It has been moving and shaking in the office, literally June to July. First off, with Title I, we learned yesterday from the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce that our elementary school does not qualify for Title I funding. This is after much work and data analysis by our administrative team. Simply put, we have wealthier families being educated in our district that is impacting the free reduced percentages for the elementary school. I've researched support for the elementary school because we're talking near 20 years of receiving title services. And today Mario and I had a conference call with AmeriCorps, which is a grant-funded tutoring. Much of the cost, about 75% of the tutor is covered by this national grant. Now, what's good about this, if we were to pursue it, because again, my mind goes, we gotta provide some support since there was support there. What I like about it is, number one, it is the high dosage tutoring that the state of Ohio, I know Liz and I looked at it last year for math, that the state of Ohio has approved. B, they have a whole curriculum, which meets what we've been dealing with on the various ELA and math committees. And they also offer mentoring at the middle school with an approved curriculum for grades 5, 6, 7, 8, specifically 7th and 8th. So we were very excited. We think this is an opportunity for us to explore moving forward. So though the traditional title that has been in the elementary school for a long time will not be there because of the funding, it's illegal for us to use those funds to a school that doesn't receive the funding anymore. But what we can do is provide those services in the middle school, and then, hey, what does it look like to maybe offer some support such as tutoring for the elementary? And that's where we are with that. Next, through collaboration with Mr. Landry, I'm excited to say we are purchasing new French 1 curriculum to replace a 20-plus-year-old French 1 curriculum. The plan is this year French 1, next year French 2, and then in the third year French 3. The higher up you go, the fewer the students, so we need the same amount depending on who's enrolling in those courses and so forth. And this is great because now we have like new curriculum as we phase with different staffing in and out of the 4 language departments. With this cost of the new curriculum, the student fee, which we're going to talk more about in August, for French will go up. So currently it's at $9, it's going to go up to $19 because of the workbook. And Mario and I, what we would want to do, part of our right-of-way goal is to use those industry best practices for finances. And one of those industry best practices for finances is to have the Board of Education see what all fees are for courses, and then if we wanted to talk transportation activity fee up or down, or course fees up or down, the board first knows what fees are, and then we can have that discussion in public forum. So it's going to start with this French fee, as I already worked with Mr. Landry, and he did a really good job with this. And then in August, our goal is to get the fees for the board to then have those conversations as we move forward for specific courses or activities. So yeah, very excited. And Mr. Landry, part of the professional development, he's been participating, I think for a few years, right, Diane? I don't know if you know but there's an online course that Mr. Landry works with. Every training he has goes with this curriculum. So it's pretty cool. It's a really good curriculum. And then my last update is currently the district is in the hiring process for K-12 physical education and health. We had a teacher that resigned just for outside of education work. We're still looking for a custodian as of right now. Okay, and that's all I have.
So the grant that you said that you're working on, there's something that would possibly support a mentorship program in the middle school.
Yes.
Do they have a list of like approved curriculums, or could be something that we're working on that can be applied to that?
What's great about the mentoring, is they're already trained and they come with being trained in this curriculum. And for example, in math, it was like Imagine Learning for math, and in ELA, so when you work with this AmeriCorps, you say, hey, I want a reading tutor, I want a math tutor, they already come trained in these evidence-based practices, which in my world is like half the battle. So
Right.
get someone to know what they're doing is the other thing. This is the same aspect that we have with mentoring. He just didn't say on the phone what that curriculum was. So we emailed, we'd like another meeting set up, because obviously I want Dan involved and Mr. Matus involved. But what we're talking about is, you know, as we look through and as we look, as a budgeting tool, what we can maybe offer for the elementary school, because that need is there. Now, with the mental health, in the middle school, they also are trauma informed, which is a huge initiative, especially for middle school students. Trauma informed practices, and part of their mentoring, they're trained in that, which I was trained in trauma informed practice, and I was like blown away that this organization is doing that, so I was pretty excited about that. But if we were to go with them, we would say, hey, we want like 3 tutors for middle school, 2 mentors specifically. They still help with academics, and then I would say, well, what is the curriculum they come with? So it would be no purchase for us at all.
About roughly how many elementary students will be affected with the Title I cut?
Well, with targeted assistance, Taylor, I'm happy you're here.
So title alone would be every grade level, or for every classroom in the grade levels 2 through 4 for us in the elementary, you would be able to take 6 students.
Yeah, I was gonna say right around probably like 20-ish. There's probably, with the TA forms that you guys did as you were exiting and adding.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how many exit and add in, but, this year I think we only exited 2 from the program.
So
That was
under
great.
30. And TA means targeted assistance. So in Title World, there's school-wide, if you're above a certain percentage, your whole school, they receive the services. And you don't have to like progress monitor and track the data. We, because we're under 43%, we were a targeted assistance TA school. So then you identify those students, you send those letters to those children, to the parents, and you kind of go from there. So looking at, and also Title is a rear end, it's a year end, so you look in the rear for that funding. So they look at what the 23-24 year was for the funding for 24-25, if I said that correctly. So it's very likely, based on August, September, October, we qualify, but that won't kick in until the 25-26 school year. So that's how the allocation is even. Yeah, so roughly around, probably under 30 kids.
I think that would be like per grade level though. Like, I think it comes out to 28 per grade if it's 6 from each classroom, each of the 4 classrooms.
Any other questions?
So you're saying more it's like 60
It-
kids?
Well,
Well,
yeah,
no,
so it's
second.
gonna be 24 for 2nd grade, 24 for 3rd grade, 24 for
Oh, okay.
4th grade, yeah.
So it's
Each
substantial.
teacher were able to service 6 kids from each of those 4 classrooms.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that, I was
Yes.
thinking
Yes.
per, like what she was saying,
Per
per,
class.
yeah,
Per grade.
yeah.
Okay, there's.
Grant support.
In the grant supported, yeah.
Yeah.
Which there's an effort, Dr. Dawson, for the federal government in the year 2026 to reduce Title I around the nation by 25%.
Is there a timetable on it for the application process, or is it?
Yeah, it was, we have a small window from when it opens to add that data, June 18th.
So you know, what kind of audit you have until July 1st to get the first application in.
Okay.
So we got that information in, and then they did the first review of it. And then that's what we just had a conversation on
So the
Monday.
first review was your denied services, so
Based on that.
I was that same day, a few hours later, we received an email, ran it by our director, unfortunately, no, you do not qualify.
And it doesn't include kindergarten.
Kindergarten and first grade are through IDEA technically, since it's an RTI program, so they are separate for that.
Bureaucracy or?
Yeah, we'll work through it, you know, we'll provide, you know, we have some game plans, and the staff's been aware, and Mr. Matus, throughout the year, we've had several conversations, and, you know, we're gonna get better every day. We're gonna, hence me looking at solutions and what can we do, and, with certain people leaving, you know, I think we can actually get better, looking at, hey, instead of this, maybe trying that, and getting creative with, you know, like AmeriCorps or different, tutoring agencies.
Okay. That'll take us to the consent agenda for the treasurer and superintendent. First item on that is the minutes for the board meetings. We had a regular board meeting on June 19th, then a special on June 27th for the financials, and then one more on July 10th, to approve some resignations for some late people leaving, I guess I'll say. Anybody have any changes to those? I read over and thought everything looked okay. That'll take us to Mr. Nero's financial report.
Yeah, you provide the June fiscal year financial reports, close out the year, and no issues, got, closed out on the first. We started opening up the new year, working on the purchase orders, pretty sure Mrs. Munson has got through all the orders that we're replacing, reached out to staff, so hopefully those boxes start coming in, no delays. And then just we start receiving our second half tax advances for the second half of 2024 of the fall section of the year. So, that, you guys have any questions on the financial report?
Okay. That takes us on to personnel. Did I read through these, or you want to?
Yeah, this first one, item C here, is you're just approving, Dr. Polito, team doctor for Midland High School for this season. And in August, we'll probably get several others. I know there's one other team doctor that I'm waiting to hear back from. I'm assuming it will be yes. So that will be in August. But item D there is motion to approve the following certified new hire, who is in the audience, Miss Taylor Johnson. She was jack of all trades. Last couple years to a full-time kindergarten teacher. Very exciting, you know, initiative that I have, and I told the board before, is I want to be able to sit and meet every candidate, every person that is going to be instructing our kids face to face. And Taylor and I had a great conversation. I can tell you she is all in for South Range. She loves South Range, and she'll do whatever she needs to do to help these kids. And she got me fired up when she left the meeting. So congratulations and good job.
Thank you.
Item E, classified resignation and or retirement, Ms. Croston with a resignation. And you'll see later in the agenda, she wants the sub. So she'll be down there later. Item G, a whole list of supplemental contracts, and hopefully we got this list right. It just kept growing as the weeks went on. Please do note for Paul Munson, assistant golf, and notice that percentage is 4 to 10% within, with a footnote here. And that percentage aligns with the memorandum of understanding that we worked out with the teachers union, in that depending on if there's enough girls for a full team, then Mr. Munson will receive 10%. If it's below what a full team he could take to tournaments and to meets, then he can get the 4%. And we worked all that, and we agreed with that. Paul knows that is below. Right now, they do have enough for a full team. And we said by the first tournament in August, that's when we would determine that. Whole host of those. Item H is the extended supplemental contracts with special education teachers, and that is delineated in our negotiated agreement. Item G, event workers, motion to approve the following ticket takers, scorekeepers, game video, stat panel operators, message operators for this sports season. Item H, motion to approve the following substitute classified personnel. You can see substitute nurse. I'm very excited about the substitute nurse because those are rare. We interviewed Taryn, she has trauma experience, she worked in the ER in Alliance, Ohio, which Alliance is, she's pretty busy. She works on the weekends, so she is free all week. We're very excited about that, and I know Kim, I talked to Kim today, she wants to get her in like immediately to start going through, with that. Item I, motion to approve the following classified personnel. So Elizabeth is going to be now a full-time aide, not to exceed 29 hours. You can see substitute instructional aides and substitute secretaries. Item J is breakfast and lunch prices. Adults, lunch $3.85, relatively cheap. If you're around, come get lunch. Item K, motion to approve complimentary passes for residential senior citizens for this year's athletic and academic events. Go ahead.
Anybody have any questions on any consent agenda items? I'll say I know Dr. Polito's volunteered his time for years, and something certainly appreciate having that position there on the sidelines. So there's no questions. Oh, and thank you for coming to the meeting.
Yes.
Accept your position.
I'm
Appreciate
very
that.
grateful, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity, so thank you.
Yep, we heard a lot of good things about you, so.
Oh, thank
So
you.
excited to have you.
I appreciate that.
So with that, we just need a motion to approve those items.
I'll second.
Tyler moves, Terry seconds, all in favor? Opposed? Those carry. That takes us to the treasurer's agenda.
Yeah, the first one, the proper public purpose, a few years ago, that obviously she's cracking down on mill purchases. So this is just a resolution just happening in certain meetings that consider proper public purpose or qualify. Any questions on? That resolution qualifies? Yep.
There's no questions, we just need a motion to approve that. Elizabeth moves, Tyler seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. On to a motion for grants for Title III grant funds for 24-25 year.
Yeah, so this was one we didn't get, with our first application, it got sent later. This money gets sent to the ESC and part of the consortium, Title III, we get a few $100.
158.
158. That's up for
Take it.
Yeah, a little bit less.
Okay, motion to approve the grant. Jack moves,
I'll second.
Terry seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Then on to the superintendent, motion for youth intensive services. Anything you want to add to that? Or?
Yeah, so YIS provides school-based mental health, behavioral interventions, and it's on as needed basis in Trumbull and Mahoning counties. There's no cost to us. The funding source is the Medicaid. So the program includes, not limited to, positive intervention, check-in, social skills, quarterly family visits.
Okay, motion to approve that. Elizabeth moves. Tyler?
Yeah.
Tyler seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. That takes us to a motion to approve the handbooks for elementary, middle, and high. Any questions or concerns? The changes were in the folder. There's none, we just need a motion to approve those for the 24-25 school year.
I'll motion.
Terry moves.
Second.
Jack seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. The before and after care program for the 24-25 school year. Anything same as previous years?
Yeah.
I'll move.
Elizabeth moves.
Second.
Tyler seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Payment in lieu of transportation, this is for a person who just got their paperwork in, if I'm not mistaken. So this is something that, is that federal or state required to provide payment in lieu of transportation if we're not going to transfer this person over to the Heartland Christians.
Right.
Instead of providing a bus to take them there, we're paying the parents to take them there.
Correct. State law.
State required, so. If there's any questions about that, I just need a motion. carries. This is the opportunity for public participation for non-agenda items, so one last chance. Then on to other matters, right now, we're scheduled August 21st at 6 o'clock, same place for our August meeting. One thing that I wanna talk to the board and see, I think we'd like to try to have a work session sometime between then and now to sit down and kind of go over evaluations and goals for Mario and Jared for next year. And then, I think, Jared, you had some items you wanna talk about too, right? I can't remember what the were off the top of my head.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to review the Raider Way and go over the district goals. And I'd like to talk through where we are with our four goals to get your input, to answer any questions. And it starts with us creating the vision for the district. Then in turn, what I do is I sit with the principals in administrative council meetings once a month. And the goals are what we do for this district. Decisions that get brought to our table, we look at the Raider Way goals to say, does it fit with these goals? So then it starts with us creating the vision, getting our input, do we wanna make revisions and so forth. Then we sit with the principals. From the administrators then, we go over and then they set goals for themselves that align with the Raider Way. So now it's all in alignment from the board, from the superintendent, the board, down to the administrative team, down to the teachers and so forth. And then it works its way up. So it's two-way communication and it's synergy for this district, really unifying and making things better. In the future, what I'd like to do is then take that into strategic planning. Excuse me. We've had a few years of our goals. Now let's create a strategic plan for the next 3 years. Since my first 3 years, this is what we did. Get the community involved with their understanding of the Raider Way, what input, what they would have. And now we have it aligned from the community with staff and the board leading the charge.
So that'll probably be an evening, maybe an hour, maybe probably knock it out an hour. It's a public meeting, so public will be invited, and then if we need to go to executive for contractual things, we can do that. So yeah, we'll kind of be thinking about what might work to your schedule, try to reach out to everybody and see if we can find a date that works for everyone. Does anybody else have any other items they want to do? If not, that takes us to the adjournment. We just need a motion to close out the meeting. Jack moves,
I'll second.
Terry seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
And we'll call it quits at 5:29. Thanks, everybody.